Okay, hello and welcome back to this second part of this basic feature example or whatever. So let's continue. Let's now add the Cocoapods part to it. So let's close down Xcode and let's go into the folder that the project that I just created and was called on my desktop. Let's call it basic package. So once we're in here, we then need to call pod init, and let's just say help, just to see what other options we have. If we want to change it, creates pod file, blah 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 blah. Not really that interested, and here we say which project it's for, and we'll say basic package. But you can just say pod init, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, now we have a pod file and now we have a pod file. That's what's important. And let's open this pod file up. And find my mouse. Right, it's created our targets for us, which is pretty cool and helpful for it. Yeah, basic provider is there. Basic view controller. Okay, basic module. Yeah, it's all there. Oh. Sorry, my phone. Okay, so let's now, we want pod install. Sorry. People keep phoning me from Austria for some reason. Annoying people. Right, good. Let's open this package workspace now. Okay, so now we have a nice simple pod. I don't like using podlib create, all right? I don't want to get into the reasons why, but I don't like using it. And now we have our pod file that's here. What do we need to do now? Right, our target, I like to put at the end, because it's not, as our feature at the end, because we're not totally bothered about it. But we need basic module, and this, we've got to tell it where it is, and this is in this folder, right? Oh, I need to change my cursor. And we also need basic provider, and we also need basic view controller, all right? Like this, just like that. And let's get rid of this. And basic provider doesn't need anything either. Basic module doesn't. Oh, this one does need something. This one needs this here. And provider view controller doesn't need anything. Like that. So that's fine. Let's clean this up. And clean this up. Clean this up. Yes, 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 yes. So, whoops. Okay, that's cool. Now we need pod spec files. So I have created some a pod spec file in Xcode files project here. And this then, we can copy this, because I don't like using the one from Cocoapods. Can copy this, come to the project, and let's just say touch. First of all, we need touch basic module dot pod spec, right? And now we need basic view controller dot pod spec. And we need basic provider dot pod spec also, because there's only 3 of them, right? So let's add all these files, and don't do that there. Let's do this here. So pod spec, pod spec, pod spec. Let's add all these. Copy files if needed. Create groups if needed as well. Okay, so now we have this pod spec. we can copy it in there, and then just copy this, and then plonk that in there, and or what? And then we can come to this next one, paste this in here, not forgetting to change it, obviously. And then wherever the Git repository is as well, if it's not there already. And we need to change this. We're going to need resource files as well. Provider is here. And this is going to be there. These aren't real repositories, by the way, but it goes like that. Okay, and just give me a nanosecond. Whoops, took the wrong one then. I want this one because there's another line that I need and I can't show it to you. Which one am I looking at? This one. Sorry, there's a place I need to get the code from, but I can't show you it to you. Let me see. This one's what I needed, I think. I always forget the syntax, and that's why I'm looking somewhere else. This one here, yes. Yeah. Nearly done, nearly done. It was probably just easier for me to, this one. It was definitely just easier for me to go on the documentation and get it. This is what I was looking for. Right, I can't be bothered writing this, and I need to change the name of it. This is better. Okay, this is what I was wanting. This here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that, and we can come back here again. Okay, so we want basic provider and want this. So we're basically looking in the assets folder and we're loading assets, plists, and so on. And this is what I can be bothered rewriting. Although it was quicker for me to rewrite it. And we don't need it in the provider though. We need it in the view controller, this one here, because the other ones aren't loading any assets. And this one's loading a storyboard, of course. Okay, this one doesn't need any dependency, but this one does need the dependency, and this is not a lesson about how to create Cocoapods framework, right? This is just here to tell you how to do it. Okay, that does this. Should all be fine now. Yeah, and we should be able to run pod install now. Wow, so it finally finished. So let's run pod install again just to see what it should have looked like. It should have looked like something like this, okay? And I think that took like 20 minutes or something, I don't know. Anyway, we see that we're using the three frameworks, and it created everything. This you pretty much can just ignore for now. And let's come back here. And so there's a few things we can now remove, right? So we see this has now got the framework here from Cocoapods, and here once again we can remove that. Let's remove this. It's been a mom. And yeah, remove this. And these can stay there. Provider is there. Okay, so let's see whether it runs now. Okay, if you were, whilst the 20 minutes was going by, the first 5 minutes or something, I was talking about something else, and then I gave up in the end, and just turned the video off, and I'll just edit it somehow. Not really that keen on editing it. Okay, let's open up the wrong. Okay, this is the correct one now, and it's basically exactly the same thing, but this time you're running off of pod specs now, right? And once it loads, everything works exactly the same. 2, 3, yeah, there we go. Right, so everything's working exactly the same, and these you can all now run from either a central source on your computer, or you can have them run remotely as well. You can put Git in here, you can run them off a branch, run them off a tag. You can create your own podspec repo as well, which is advisable to do. And then you just, yeah. So there's so many possibilities to work here with this. So this essentially is the video, and it's all working. And I hope you've learned something from this. Okay, and the advantage of doing this now is that if I then make a change to the basic view controller, for example, I can then we can then version it and so on. So we've now got it's on version 2. So you can always use version control with Git and also with Cocoapods. Using Git is okay, but using Cocoapods is a lot better. Okay, that's it. I'm going to finish this because I've also had enough of waiting 20 minutes for the pod install to happen. Thank you very much for watching. Please write comments, right? Any negative feedback on this, I encourage. If you have anything that you don't understand, I encourage to write in the comments, please. Like it, dislike it. This video is there to be able to improve my own understanding about how I do things. If you've got a better way of doing it, then tell me, show me how you do it. But this is how I do it. And if you didn't understand something, ask me, tell me which point in this video it is, and I will then do another video about it, right? Because I'm really looking forward to doing lots of Xcode and Swift videos. Anyway, that's it. My name's David Thorne. I'm from David's Videos, what previously was Thorne Web Design. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice evening.